경기장 도시락.
All right, guys, welcome to Shattered Temple, and here at the 12 o'clock position from Team Evil Geniuses, we have DeMusliM spawning as our blue Terran player, and his opponent at the 6 o'clock position. No, Michael, that's not one of his tricks. That's oGs.Illusion. He is our red Terran player. So
I've heard that's a reference to a show I haven't seen.
hopefully chat is receiving that pretty
I
well
hope
right
so,
now.
too.
But Arrested
luck.
Development for
Good luck to
life.
chat.
If you haven't watched it basically immediately.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it sometime. You got me watching Top Gear, so
That's true.
we can start watching
New Top Gear season
different
started,
shows as
so
well,
good.
I guess. All right. Yeah. So here we are in Shattered Temple, cross positions, TVT. I like this matchup. I don't like playing it, but I like casting it. I like watching it.
I know you don't like playing it right now. So.
Oh, I really don't. I get kind of sweary when I play TVT. But these guys, probably a little bit better at it than I am, especially DeMusliM. He's got some really strong TVT. This guy's been practicing like a maniac, too. He has improved a lot in like the last 6 months. It's been really impressive, so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the game today.
Yeah, he's really risen to the forefront as a premier player, and it's been enjoyable to watch as well. So both players putting up their barracks at about the same time. We'll see if either decides to bypass gas. Of course, you have a little bit wider entrance running to the front on Shattered Temple, but should be watchable to do some sort of expand build. Of course, we're not close positions by air, especially on this map. In those positions, you have a lot of Banshee drop play, stuff like that. But
Right.
And already gas coming up for Illusion.
Yep. It's going for a regular, normal type of opening. Looks like DeMusliM wants to do that one racks gasless fast expand, which is pretty good on nearly any map aside from like Steps of War, I guess. But yeah, I mean, perfectly fine opening to do. So he's going to get a little bit of an economy boost, but if Illusion can get in there and do some damage, could kind of negate that early lead that DeMusliM is trying to take.
That's the counter question to what we're asking for our question of the day is what's the worst map you've ever seen? And I think Steps of War gets up there.
You know, that either a Delta Quadrant. I really did not like that map.
Dude, I loved it as a Terran player, but other than that.
I just felt guilty if I played on it as a Terran player. I don't know. Protoss could be a little bit abusive on that too. But
yeah.
You could warp right across that gap.
Oh my god.
The natural.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was so funny, man. Well, there's the command center going up for DeMusliM. Just like we expected, the SCV running for his life, but it's not going to work.
No.
He's dead. Oh! Look out. He almost got hit by that mule,
Illusion.
too.
And looks like he's going to duck back in for another pass, so just running that Marine around as much as possible.
Ran out of gas there.
Unfortunately.
You know, answer me this.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Riddle me this, Cat's Pajamas.
Okay.
Why, when you shoot an SCV, does blood fly out? How do the bullets penetrate?
Yeah,
the steel shell so hard
because you see the SCV like just implode whenever it gets shot with bullets enough. Apparently, so I would figure that anything that could implode, what's essentially like a mech body, would just destroy anything underneath. But yeah, I don't understand.
It's like Monty Python levels of blood spraying out of those things.
He's
in a metal suit. I don't know, but I always wondered about that. Looks like it's going to be reactored Hellions from Illusion. Interesting. You do see this opening, you know, off and on in TVT, and there's the command center. So kind of a TVZ opening, repurposed for TVT, and it can be pretty good. I mean, especially against what DeMusliM is doing. He's not going to be able to expand quite as quickly because of this, because just pure Marines obviously isn't going to do quite as well against pure Hellions.
Agreed.
So this is kind of something that's not, I wouldn't say it's popular, but it pops up from time to time, the reactored Hellion. Only problem is that if you do this and your opponent goes for Banshees, suddenly you're in a bit of trouble here. But I've got a feeling that Illusion didn't commit to this until he was fairly sure that that DeMusliM was going to go for that gasless expand, especially if you see the Terran wall off like that. That's usually a pretty good indicator. Oh, but he also got in there too, obviously.
Yeah, and he's getting up stim with his Marines as well. So investing in bio upgrades, not just going straight over to mech or anything like that. DeMusliM, in fact, adding in his second barracks as well. So neither of these players just going to go for super heavy mech play. The Hellions make their way back in. They fry one Marine right away. DeMuslim's very low on health for his other ones as well.
Yeah, and the Hellions do slightly outrange the Marines, I believe, unless I'm totally...
Oh, looks like they're both 5.
Actually,
they're both 5,
Okay, never mind. Why did I think that? I don't know. But
in bunkers, possibly, but yeah.
either way.
So we do have a Tech Lab being added in now for that second barracks as well. 4 Hellions making their way up to the front. Good unit control there from Illusion to put that hurt Hellion up at the back. And he's just going to keep poking away at the supply depot with these Hellions until there's a response from WR1. WR1 has a starport up at the top along with a third barracks, but so far supply depot is getting roasted.
There's the tank. He might still lose the supply depot, but he is going to be able to force the Hellions away. Oh, he's got to be careful there.
Yeah. Really has to be, but it looks like he saves all of his SCVs in the process, so good patience from WR1 there.
Handled that pretty well, yep. About 5 supply ahead right now, not world-changingly great, but always nice to get a little bit of a lead there. 10 supply now. And let's take a look here at what Illusion is doing, making a lot of Marines. So he's just going to go for a big Marine medevac composition, and this is getting more and more common in Terran play in general. It's kind of funny. He's playing this like a TVZ.
Yeah.
Like all of his teching
yes,
is like TVZ, but certainly can work in TVT in certain situations too.
Yeah, but you know, build on what you said. Oh, Hellions have to watch out. They're getting dangerously close to getting picked off, but it looks like they roast a couple more Marines. So there you go. But I think you were dead on. You said that he's playing this very TVZ-like right now, and looks like we'll see what he's going to do out of this reactor. It's just kind of a cool way to get there with the reactor and Hellions to start. We'll see if after this medevac he switches over, and it looks like he is.
Yep. Just getting that first medevac out there to do a little bit of damage. Stim did finish for him too, so if he wants to, he can do a drop right away and put on a little bit of pressure while he waits for his other medevacs to come out.
Now, WR1 does have a couple extra workers out right now. Nothing too critical of a difference. The big difference for him is that while he's producing on less add-ons for his barracks, he does have better siege tank production right now. He's already on 2 siege tanks with his third coming out at the moment. The Tech Lab just finishing up on the factory for Illusion.
Yeah, a lot of Terrans are doing this in, well, both TVZ and TVT now, just going for kind of Marine medevac early on and then adding in the tanks a little bit later. It seems like the more that TVT and TVZ kind of evolve, the more players are trying to put off getting tanks. Because, you know, when you get the tanks, you do lose a certain amount of mobility with it too. So it's kind of funny. You see players trying to avoid getting tanks for longer and longer now.
And Illusion running away with those Hellions. Needs to run back home. The modern-day equivalent of Paul Revere there, running back to warn Illusion of... Well, the British are coming, actually. Wow, that ended up working a lot better. So let's see here.
The British are coming.
WR1 making his way out. He's pulled a lot of SCVs. Oh, my God, a lot of SCVs with this, as a matter of fact. Illusion still has a lot of units remaining. WR1 was doing a nice job picking off a couple of medevacs there, forcing Illusion back home at the moment, and now WR1's going to start sieging up the natural.
Oh, boy, and here comes Illusion trying to hold this off. The SCVs doing a pretty good job of buffering. Does he have enough Marines, though? I don't think he does, man. I think Illusion is barely going to kill these tanks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, not even barely. He comes out of that quite comfortably despite losing a good amount of SCVs.
That's a big win for him as well. He did lose a few SCVs, and he's going to make his way out, continuing to stim. He really wants to kill that Marine, and he does so. Let's see if he gets any medevacs as well. Oh! But he runs directly into a siege tank, all sieged up, and it looks like Illusion going to have to get pushed back now. Supplies about even for our 2 players. Workers actually about even after that big trade. WR1 with the higher tank count, of course. Illusion with the higher Marine and medevac count.
It's looking like StarCraft 1 for a second there with those Marines getting one-shot by the tank because they were at such low health. Oh, those were the days.
Yes.
A little bit of a drop here coming out for Illusion. Actually, that's going to be a pretty significant drop. Yeah, I mean, he could do some damage to WR1 with this. Such a good idea to go for a drop after you've done a really aggressive move like that, or there's been some kind of like intense action in the middle of the map, because you're mentally so focused on that part of the map, and you don't see things like this coming a lot of times.
Okay, well, Illusion's got all those units inside of his opponent's base. WR1 now picks up on it, sieging up 1 tank right away.
Oh!
Tech Lab goes down, stops combat shields from finishing, and now a few SCVs are going to go down. Very good control to stay just out of the range of WR1. Picks off the supply depot with called down supplies on top of it as well.
He was actually doing WR1 a favor there by killing the one that had the supply drop on it. That was embarrassing to have him around. So that's actually okay.
And WR1 running up with some more units, but Illusion was just powering ahead, and until these tanks joined the fight, it looked like Illusion was going to clean everything up, but still a very successful drop for him.
That's a pretty good trade. I mean, it's okay losing that many Marines when you do that much damage to your opponent. You can see a decent supply lead now for Illusion, and he's going to continue to pressure. Really aggressive play from this OGS Terran player here. And, you know, that was actually Stim that he took out, not Combat Shields. He actually got Combat Shields first. Yeah, I got a little bit sidetracked, too, because of the early Stim that Illusion was getting.
Good
so
point.
they were both getting Combat Shields around the same time. But, yeah, that was actually huge because Stim was pretty close to finishing, too, when he killed that Tech Lab.
Oh, boy, and Illusion going for drop part 2 here. And yes, you're exactly right, because Stim is now on the way for DeMusliM. Looks like he is pulling a bunch of SCVs once again, just crashing right through the front. But we are maybe going to move into a base trade scenario here. Illusion dropping off a lot of units inside of DeMuslim's base.
Too.
Yes, and we'll see here, he's pulling back. Looks like he's got a little bit back at home, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, DeMuslim's not turning around either. He's going for it, man. This is going to be just a straight-up base race. And a bigger supply for Illusion right now, but DeMusliM still has a very strong-looking army with all those SCVs.
Yes, he does. No Stim here, though, at all because of what had happened before. So barracks are going to get taken out, but Illusion is very, very well just moving through DeMuslim's base right now. DeMusliM just has nothing else out at the moment, whereas Illusion is still able to slowly start producing and establish a defensive position back inside his main.
Yep. Now, DeMusliM does have that one tank in Illusion's main to contend with, but he's going to be able to kill everything in the natural.
Yeah.
He does, very, very importantly, get a command center away, though. It's making it to the upper right part of the map.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to try to land that at the other main, but that was really important to get that away.
Yes, what a crazy game number 1, though, to start us off here in this best of 9, because DeMuslim's now going to have to move into this defensive position, but he's got tanks on the high ground, and that is critical, so it looks like he has air control back at home as well, but of course, let's see here, Illusion starting to lift off with a few units, SCVs being sent to the front, DeMusliM unsieges everything!
He's got to be careful about moving in here. There are 2 tanks, but he could take a little bit of damage. That's a ton of Marines there, too.
Oh, and Illusion has Stim!
Yeah, that is going to be about it, I would say. That's going to be GG, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
That was just an incredibly well-played trade there from Illusion. Those drops proving to be just so effective.